Hello guys and welcome to your second video tutorial. This video is about the lesson number 5, so let's begin. So adding ed and ing. Okay, an important part before I start with the practice of the pronunciation is that you need to read the part that says spelling focus, because in that part you have the explanation of when are you going to double up the letters when you're going to use the ed form and the ing form. Anyways, I'm going to explain to you a little bit more in details that rule or those rules, so please pay attention to the video. So let's begin. On the first part, as we always do, we're going to practice the pronunciation, so repeat after me, please. So the number one is answered, answered, answered. The number two is answering, answering, answering. Number three, decided, decided, decided. Number four, deciding, deciding, deciding. Number five, included, included, included. Number six, including, including, including. Number seven, omitted, omitted, omitted. Number eight, omitting, omitting, omitting. Number 9, satisfied, satisfied. Number 10, satisfying, satisfying. Number 11, delayed, delayed. Number 12, delaying, delaying. Number 13, remembered, remembered. Number 14, remembering, remembering, remembering. Number 15, exercised, exercised, exercised. Number 16, exercising, exercising, exercising. Number 17, interfere, interfered, interfered. Number 18, interfering, interfering. Number 19, occurred, occurred. And the last one is occurring, occurring. Okay, remember, and this is an information that you already know, that the ed sound, they have like 3 different ways to pronounce at the end. The first case is when you actually pronounce the ed sound at the end. And as we explained to you this year and also last year, the ed sound, you only pronounce it at the end when you have a word that ends with d or the letter T. When you have a word that ends with the letter D and T, then you use the word ed at the end. For example, if you have the word or the word avoid, you said avoided. You don't say, for example, worked. No, you say worked. Now, the other sound is, in this case, for example, you have, if you have, I'm going to use the same word that I used before. You have the word work with the letter K at the end. You don't say worked, you say worked. It has like a T sound at the end. Remember, it's worked, worked, the T sound at the end. And then you have the other case, that is the one that you have the D sound at the end. I'm going to use an example that you have on the book. You have, for example, the word satisfied, satisfied, the D sound at the end. Now you're going to be able to solve the practice. You're going to be able to complete the word list by yourself. Remember to follow the instruction that you have on a part that says practice. And also you have the challenge word there. You have particle, dignified, particularing, and dignifying. So those are the words that you have on the challenge word. So don't forget, that will be part of your assignment too. Then, here I have a chart that explains to you the rules of the ing and the ed forms. The number 1 says, and please pay attention because this is something that not only you're going to use this year, so basically you're going to use these rules your entire life. So, verb that ends in e. For example, what you have to do, if you have a verb that ends with the letter e, the only thing that you have to do is, in this case, in the case of the ing ending, you need to drop the e and you need to choose or use the ing form. If you have a word that ends with e, But now you're going to use the ed form. The only thing that you need to do is adding the letter D at the end. Then you have the rule number 2, verbs that ends in a vowel and a consonant. One syllable word, for example, if you have the word stopped, then if you're going to use the ing rule, you need to double up the last letter. And in that case, the last letter is P, so you need to double up the letter P. So stopping and stopped. Then you have rob, the same case, and beg. You at the end, you need to double up the last letter, and you need to put the ing form or the ed form. Then in the other case, you have rain. You need to do what you need to do in that case is only adding the form at the end, which in this case is the word ing, and then you also have the word rained, the same. You only add the ed form in this case. Then you have 2 syllable words. You have the word listen. Then you have listening. You only add the ing form. The same thing you have to do with the word in the ed form, that is listened. Then you have the word begin. If you have the word begin, so you need to double up the last letter, and it's beginning, and then begin. So the rule number 3, verbs that ends in 2 consonants. You have start, starting, started. And an important rule that most of you always have the tendency to forget about this is that verbs that ends in Y. If you have, for example, the word enjoy, the only thing that you have to do in that case, you need to add the ing form. Please do not suppress the Y at the end. You're not supposed to do that, so please don't do it. So I'm going to read the chart that you have at your right. If Y is preceded by a vowel, keep the Y. If Y is preceded by a consonant, and this is what you have to do. You keep the Y, you add the ing, then you have the ed form. You have to change to IED. Then verbs that ends in I and E. Well, this is a very important rule that you need to learn and you need to practice. So you have the word die. So you suppress the I and the E, and you change that for, in the case of the ing, remember, you're going to use Y and ing. In the case of the ed form, the only thing that you have to do is add in the letter D at the end. Well, this is the next page. What you have to do is you need to write the list word that is a form of the words in parentheses. So what you need to do basically is going to the first page and compare the words that you have on the list word. Then you have adding ending. Well, basically the only thing that you have to do is to so many words to create the ed or the ing form. And the same thing you have to do at the end that says add ed and ing to each of these words. Prefer, license, so you have to add the ed form and the ing form of each one. Remember to use the rules, and also you can check the chart that I put here on the class. As always, the proofreading, that's something that you have to do. And at the end, you're going to talk about synonyms. Remember that on the other part of the video, on the lesson number 4, you talk about antonyms. Well, now you're going to talk about synonyms. So you need to write a list of words that means the same of each word. So where are you going to be able to find out the answers? At your right on the chart. You have answered, answering, decided, deciding, included, omitted, omitting. So those are the words that you need to use to fulfill that part. Well, guys, with this, we finish this video. I really hope you find this video useful for you. Now you're going to be able to work on the book by itself, or by yourself in this case, and now you're going to be able to work on the vocabulary assignment. Thanks for your attention, guys. See you soon.